everyone, and welcome back to Wrestle News Mania, your one-stop shop for all things WWE. We're looking into the action-packed episode of WWE Raw. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. You know we've got a lot to cover, and you won't want to miss out. Let's jump into a full recap of the show, and then we'll move on to the up, the down, and the ugly of tonight's Raw.
Gunther and Damian Priest confrontation. The show kicked off with Gunther in the ring, setting the stage for his upcoming World Heavyweight Championship match against Damian Priest at Survivor Series. As Gunther spoke about the stakes of their match, Priest interrupted, igniting a fiery verbal exchange. The intensity escalated quickly as Priest delivered a razor's edge to Gunther through the announce table, leaving no doubt about how much animosity has built between the two. This segment not only raised the stakes for their title match, but also demonstrated how well Priest has embraced his role as the top face on Raw. Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus American Made. In a fast-paced and high-energy contest, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee took on American Made, Brutus, and Julius Creed. The match showcased incredible chemistry between the teams, with the Creeds impressing with their agility and athleticism. The tide turned late in the match as Chad Gable interfered, distracting Mysterio and allowing Julius to score a controversial roll-up victory. The LWO's rivalry with American Made deepens, and this match only added fuel to the fire. Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. The battle for the Intercontinental Championship saw Braun Breaker face off with Ludwig Kaiser in a non-title match. The match was competitive, with Breaker showing off his explosive power, but it ended in chaos when Sheamus attacked Kaiser. This retaliation was due to Kaiser costing Sheamus his title opportunity the week prior. The disqualification finish led to an announcement by Adam Pearce, a triple threat match for the IC title at Survivor Series, featuring Braun Breaker, Ludwig Kaiser, and Sheamus. This edition promises to be one of the most intense bouts on the card. The New Day versus Alpha Academy. In a highly anticipated match, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods of the New Day took on Alpha Academy's Otis and Akira Tozawa. The match, however, was more about internal tension than the action in the ring. Xavier Woods tagged himself in during a crucial moment, only to fall victim to Otis's Caterpillar and Tozawa's high-flying Senton. Post-match, the tensions between Woods and Kingston spilled over backstage, where they exchanged heated words, foreshadowing a potential split for the beloved tag team. Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Jay McDonough versus the War Raiders. The Judgment Day continued to dominate as Finn Balor and JD McDonough defended their World Tag Team Championships against the War Raiders. The match was solid, but the finish was heavily influenced by outside interference from Dominic Mysterio and Carlito. In a moment of chaos, Balor pulled Ivar off the ropes using his beard, allowing McDonough to secure the win with a cheap roll-up. Despite the tainted finish, the match further solidified the Judgment Day's grip on the tag team division. Women's Intercontinental Championship announcement. In a major announcement, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce introduced the Women's Intercontinental Championship, a brand new title for the women's division on Raw. This follows the Women's United States Championship introduced on SmackDown, making it clear that WWE is committed to expanding its women's mid-card titles. A tournament to crown the inaugural champion will begin next week, adding excitement and depth to the women's competition. Let's jump into the up, the down, and ugly. The up, Gunther versus Damian Priest confrontation. This was a strong start to the show, as it effectively built the tension for their World Heavyweight Championship match at Survivor Series. Priest's interaction with Gunther added a personal element to the rivalry, making it feel more intense. Priest's razor's edge through the announce table showed that he's ready to take on anyone and emphasized his strong babyface turn on Raw. Braun Breaker's triple threat announcement. The chaos between Breaker, Kaiser, and Sheamus created an exciting atmosphere that has fans buzzing about the upcoming triple threat match for the IC Championship at Survivor Series. This segment set the stage for a fierce showdown at the PPV, with Sheamus looking to get his hands on the title that has eluded him for so long. The down, the New Day tension. While the backstage argument between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods was filled with potential for drama, it felt like it lacked the emotional depth expected from a team with such a long history. The frustration between them felt rushed, and the segment could have been developed further. The eventual breakup seems inevitable, but the angle could have had more impact if given more time. No ugly. This week's episode was solid, with no major flaws or missteps. While there were a few moments that could have been better executed, like the New Day segment, the show managed to stay consistent across segments. No glaring issues made it a struggle to watch. Let's jump into some of the wrestling news and updates. WWE introduces Women's Intercontinental Championship. In a groundbreaking announcement, Raw General Manager Adam Pearce introduced the Women's Intercontinental Championship, a new mid-card title for the women's division. The announcement follows WWE's commitment to expanding the women's championship scene with the Women's U.S. Championship, creating excitement for the upcoming tournaments to crown the inaugural champions on both Raw and SmackDown. The tournament to determine the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion will start next week on Raw. This is a major step in increasing the prominence of women's wrestling in WWE. Vince McMahon's new venture. Vince McMahon, the longtime head of WWE, has officially severed his ties with the company, but has been making waves in the entertainment industry. McMahon is shifting his focus toward television and film production, setting up an entertainment hub in Santa Monica, California. This marks the beginning of a new chapter for McMahon, who is now building his company outside of wrestling. While his departure from WWE was clouded by controversy, McMahon's shift to Hollywood could signify the next phase in his career, even though WWE's future remains uncertain without him at the helm. Braun Breaker's IC title defense at Survivor Series. The Intercontinental Championship match at Survivor Series is set after Adam Pearce announced a triple threat match for the title. Braun Breaker will defend against Ludwig, Kaiser, and Sheamus after a chaotic build-up on Raw, where Sheamus sought revenge on Kaiser for costing him his title shot the previous week. The match promises to be a standout bout at Survivor Series, with Sheamus's intense rivalry with Breaker bringing additional heat to the contest. CM Punk and Roman Reigns set to talk on SmackDown. The highly anticipated CM Punk and Roman Reigns segment has been announced for the Survivor Series Go Home episode of WWE SmackDown. This segment will allow the two men to air their differences ahead of their roles in the Men's War Games match at Survivor Series. The showdown between the OG Bloodline and CM Punk has been building for weeks, and this sit-down segment will give fans a final dose of tension before the explosive match on Saturday. That wraps up our WWE Raw recap and news segment for today. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates from the world of WWE. Let us know in the comments what you thought about tonight's show and what's to come at Survivor Series. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wrestle News Mania.